Welcome back, gang. It's Deltia from DeltiasGaming.com, and in this video we're going over Stam Dragonknight. I've already converted my Dragonknight back to Magic, but I want to show you what I did with the Brutal Butcher to make it applicable for this Veteran Maelstrom Arena PvE. So the skills that we use are not that different than the ones we had at level 40. All I did here is change out Boss Slice to Evil Hunter. Evil Hunter is the Fighter's Guild ability that gives us more damage against Undead and Daedra, even a 4% chance against all others, but the real reason we have it slotted is for that major savagery, the crit bonus. So I still have Crit Rush, Rally, Evil Hunter, Wrecking Blow, Executioner, and Flawless Dawnbreaker is the ultimate. Low cost, and it gives us 8% weapon damage for merely having it slotted. It's not as good as Take Flight, but against NPCs we want a max weapon damage. The other thing I did is I have Scorched Earth, which is AoE for my bow bar. You need a lot of AoE, and if you do Scorched Earth with the bow, as a Dragonknight, extra flame damage, as a Dummer, it's really nice. Plus, then I use the Alliance skills, Razor Caltrops. These two things add up to a massive amount of AoE. You can place them on the ground in an area, so even before mobs are spawning, they're taking damage. I still have Reflective Scales or Flappers, so I can, ricochet range shots. I have Igneous Shields and Resolving Vigor, another Alliance skill, and then Standard of Might, 20% more damage, 20% damage reduction, and huge for a Dragonknight in PvE. So very similar, using a bow still, using a two-hander, and that's kind of what we did. The gear that I'm using or use for this is that Morkuldan set, the 5-piece set that we tested versus Hunding's Rage. So I wanted to see if it could hang in high-level PvE content, and it did pretty good, though I still prefer Hunding's Rage. So I prefer my Dragonknight as Magic, I honestly do, but Stamina is quite fun in PvE. So hopefully you like this video. I'm going to go through, I cut out all the deaths so we can just get to the nitty-gritty and show you how I got it done. 400k score, not too bad. Stam Dragonknight, let's go. Round one, pretty simple here. You just want to get up your Caltrops, your Scorched Earth, usually at one spawn where a non-melee is. So you're going to remember these the more you play and exactly where the spawns are. I've been a little rusty since I haven't done this in a month, so I took a break and was doing Fallout 4. But remember that the melee mobs are going to come to you, right? So you need to focus on the range mobs, and you're not going to take so much damage from them, reflective scales, but you just need to focus on them because they're not coming to you, especially if you're going for a high time. So I take the range mobs, and now this Daedra, he's going to eat it. On to the next round. More of the same here. You're going to have range guy to start right away, so we're going to get him down with a little Executioner after a Wrecking Blow, couple range guys, and then at the very end you're going to face a, forget what his name is, but he's a big nasty guy. So you can use a ultimate on him if you want, and you always want to save an ultimate for the boss round, the start of a boss round. So it comes with more experience knowing when to use ultimates in here or not. But don't get shy, here it is, the Bone Colossus. So you can use an ultimate right here, especially as a Dragonknight. I'm going to use that if I'm really low on resources in between rounds. Third round, more of the same really, it's not that hard. Biggest tip I can give you is make sure that you have Evil Hunter always active as a stand build. Remember that as soon as you kill one of the Daedra, it will refresh the duration. But that doesn't mean you don't need to reapply it during the break in between rounds. So always make sure you reapply it. That will add tremendous damage to your DPS. You also notice I'm weaving in damage with my Wrecking Blow, light attack. More information on that, I might do a separate video. It turns out it's more damage than just using Wrecking Blow. So I'm going to take out the range guys. Last is a little mini boss here. He can be stunned, so make sure you stun him. Boss round, we're going to do a monster burn on him right away. Banner, got my Evil Hunter up, got Scorched Earth on him, and just going to Wrecking Blow, Light Weave in. And the add there, don't worry about him so much, he will die. About 10-15 seconds in, he'll start doing a ranged attack on you, which you can use Flappers to reflect, and it adds a lot of damage. So basically, I disregard the add the whole time and just go straight burn on the boss. Once he's down to 10%, I usually block cast so I don't take a whole lot of damage, or put up reflective scales. And then boom, charge him, rip and grip, that's it. Now we're on to the second round, probably my least favorite. They changed the damage here from magic to physical. So it's a little bit harder for magic builds where they can't just use harness magic, but not really a big change for us. So the little twirlies there, you can use a lever to stop them. I usually don't. The thing that's going to speed up the round is usually I put caltrops on one side and then I'll put scorched earth on the others. Because you have those two mobs that will shoot from afar at you and you want those things dead. Here you can use a banner if you want on this guy or save it for the next round, but you're going to see a lot of these in the future. Remember Wrecking Blow's range is about 6 meters, so you can be outside of his circle and his twirlies using Wrecking Blow to get him down. More of the same here, very simple. Like I said, you're going to remember the spawns the more you do it. You got 2 spider dogs and a ricochet guy. He will do a cast that telegraphs with an animation, so you can either have your flappers up while you're waiting for that, or get aggressive on him and crit rush, wrecking blow, executioner will usually finish him off, especially if you do a light attack in between. Resources start to get a little bit light after you're doing a bunch of vigors, so I go ahead and use a banner here because you can't really avoid some of this damage, so you're going to have to use a lot of stamina in your vigors. But this round goes pretty quick, especially if you use a banner. That 20% damage resistance against him really helps out, and it gets us recharge for the next round. You'll see I cast Igneous Shields in between the round frequently, and that's because I want that stamina bonus, 5% stamina back when you use that ability, the Earth and Heart, due to the passive. So if you're having trouble maintaining a lot of stamina in between rounds, just go ahead and cast that thing over and over, especially if Engine Guardian procs magic. Just feel free to just cast it at will. That's what I do, is stay heavy on my stamina during those fights and in between. Okay, more of the same. We got a lot of ricochet waves here. See, he's going to telegraph that, and you get down pretty low, and especially with the resources. But remember, we have the boss round next. So this is a round you do not want to use a banner to kill this guy. If you're having trouble with this round, I suggest killing these guys on the outside first. Always do that. Otherwise, you're going to take a lot of lightning shock damage. And then remember, watch for he does one big heavy attack that he just did, just like that. You can block cast that. And then he's going to do his little spinny thing, which you can use Wrecking Blow on outside and get a lot of damage on him. And then he's going to do that front thing right there, the steam. So basically, 2 out of 3 of his animations, you can just easily DPS him down. Just remember which they are. Bossy boss round here, and I try to get a big burn on this guy right away. So at 75%, he's going to spawn his friend. If you can get him in an animation like a circular one before that 75%, then you can get him down way below it. And that's what I kind of did there. And this round is kind of just stay your focus. They're going to rotate in between each other. You can use the levers when you get in trouble, which will bring these mobs to the center. They will heal, but you can usually out DPS it. So it depends on how you want to play this. Remember that if one mob gets way more health than the other, that's going to basically rotate 3 times to get to that mob again, because it's always going to have the mob up with the most HP, usually what it does. So just go back and forth. So you can get this guy really, really low, but he ain't going to die very easily because they're just going to rotate through it. I'm getting low on stamina, so I'm using Igneous Shields a bunch here to get my stamina back. Potions up. Delta, why aren't you using a potion? There we go. Max magic here. So if you're struggling, Igneous Shields or any Earth and Heart ability is really how you do it. Bang, right there. Restore a bunch of stamina. I'm going to put Scorched Earth and caltrops down. And the reason I casted that right there is because there's 2 mobs in between. Plus, I just got I got a proc for stamina with my Engine Guardian. I like Engine Guardian on my Dragonknight, and the reason why is I can use that and banner and use the max health and stamina food and get a lot more damage. I tried the stamina and sustain food instead of Engine Guardian, and it just didn't seem to work as good. I didn't do as much damage, though I had a better sustain. So it just depends on how you want to set up your build. I like the max food for just pure damage, and that's it. Going to have a lot of snakes and critters in this round, so remember reflective scale is your friend. And I also almost put it on my front bar instead of my back bar for this round, just because it's only 4-second duration. You're going to have to cast it a lot. The Lamia cures are your main source of issues here, because they're going to stun you with a ricochet wave, and if you don't have flappers up, the other people will range DPS and kill you. So I highly recommend as soon as you see one of them suckers spawn or you start memorizing where they spawn, go after them. And you really want to save your magic, not so much for Earth and Heart, for Igneous, but you want to save it for reflective scales. So I don't do a whole lot of Igneous here. Now here I can, but my magic's pretty low. I got a proc here with stamina. Life's good. Now Shockwave's down on the center, so I can just sit in the water if I need to, and I'm going to kill that Lurcher next round. So I use that Strangler in between the rounds to get up a lot of stamina, and I can kill him easily. And kill him on my two-hander bar will give me that 15% regeneration. So remember, in between rounds, take out the Stranglers and use a big old heavy attack on them to get some stamina back if you're low. Okay, so now I'm pretty low on resources here. It'd be a good opportunity to use a banner because I can get another one up by the time there's a boss round. So here we go, just gonna wait for the boss. There's a mini boss in here, so I want to use my banner on him. Bunch of mobs spawning, the mini boss, and I have a lot of ranged DPS. Look what I clicked, misclick, everyone does it. So I use my Flawless Dawnbreaker instead of my big nasty banner, and I'm yelling at myself right now. Okay, because remember, you get resources back based on how much ultimate you use. So a 250 ultimate cost would give me a lot more resources than like 100. This guy is kind of annoying because once he goes in that electric form, you can't really see his Wrecking Blow. So it's just going to take practice to avoid that. Out of resources, go on the Shockwave. 1 Igneous, 2 Igneous, dead. So this is the round before the main boss. So what we're trying to do here is just, survive, obviously, kill stuff. That's a great tip, I know. But really you want to make sure you have a banner for the start of the next round. That's your main goal, is not to use an ultimate. This is really heavy on range casters, so you got to be good and diligent with your reflective scales or flappers. I'm telling you, these things will be really hard. Once these two snakes come in here, this is pretty easy. Leave them in the scorched earth and just chop them down, mow them down. Start of the round, usually always want to get up reflective scales because the first thing they're going to do is cast that right away, cast some ranged DPS damage on you. And that will do a lot of damage back to them. Now we have the mini boss, which is one of the easier mini boss, and changes me out of my caltrops. I'm mad, and I use a banner. What did I do? I should not have used a banner, because next round I'm not going to have one to start the boss fight. So learn from this. This boss can be quite annoying for stamina builds, because she just does so much damage to you with her claw attack, which you pretty much cannot avoid. So what you need to understand is that there's basically going to be a couple things that she does damage-wise. That claw attack, which is about 9,000 damage. So you need to be above 50%. Now she does the electrocution phase, where you can just do a lot of damage to her. And then keep moving around, because she'll be doing that screamed AoE DPS. And that you can do damage to as well. So really you're just timing your damage. Wait and kind of survive during the little claw phase, kill the adds as they come, and keep on moving around side to side so you don't get caught in that screen. You want to avoid that. That will give you another 2 to 3 seconds of damage, making this round much easier. Once she gets on the lightning phase, get really aggressive with her. Remember that her HP is what controls when more mobs spawn. So if you're having trouble, low on resources, and really can't take on additional mobs, don't push her over. Just wait a little bit, go back, get a power-up. A lot of people are really afraid to use power-ups to start, and I don't know why. That's what they're there for. So if you're having trouble, power-up, power-up, power-up. We're close to a banner, and this fight would have been much easier if I would have had one to start. But now that I have one, I'm going to use it. And I can usually burn through here about her HP, because that 20% damage reduction and damage increase from me while I stand in the banner. So I'm going to keep flappers up and get them down. This fight can be really easy, this round, moreover, can be super easy because we have reflective skills as a Dragonknight. So a lot of these casters are just easy to kill with that. So try to cognitively, consciously, whatever, I'm talking like someone who's trying to use big words, I know. Try to save your magic for the spawns when these guys spawn, because they're usually always going to shoot a ranged projectile like that as soon as they spawn. Use your flappers. I mean, it'll honestly almost kill them without doing anything if you just keep your reflect up. Even the boss, that takes a lot of damage off of him. Stun and a bash and he's dead. More of the same here, but you're going to get the Dwarven Spears that are in Dragonstart Arena kind of. And these things are a pain if you let them cast. So I like to get really aggressive on them, chop them down butcher style right away. Remember that those little spears that are coming in randomly or at a certain time intervals, those need to be taken care of. They don't take a whole lot of damage to kill, but you need to do it and kind of constantly move around in a circle to see when they spawn. We got spawns up. I'm low on stamina. Going to use an igneous, chop this guy down, get that really big time regeneration. Now I got a dwarven spear, so I'm going to use a banner here. It's not close to the boss round. Plus I need that flood of resources, and you can see how much more resources I get once I use my banner. Okay, use my igneous, get some more stamina back up, chopping them down. I could use reflect right there because I do have 2 range guys, so that'll give me about 4 seconds where I don't have to worry about range attacks. Flappers back up, and you notice I'm going to go after that guy. Usually a crit rush and a light attack is enough to kill them, so don't focus any more than that on those guys. This is probably the hardest round in the whole stage, which you're going to have a spear, you're going to kill him, and that's going to basically spawn 2 more spears on the opposite side. They do a lot of damage. Now, what I like to do is stun them. Remember, they can be stunned, and you can also isolate one on one side and another on another. So that way you're not taking so much damage from their shockwaves. So once you get one down, not so bad. Continue to kill them, and they're going to have a lot of dogs, or whatever I call it, spear dogs. So these guys are kind of a pain. You want Scorched Earth down and Caltrops down. You need a lot of AoE. And since we don't have an AoE specific ability, I go ahead and use Flawless Dawnbreaker because I'm in trouble. I'd rather use my ultimate and not save it perfectly for the next round than die. So that's what I did. Also, you see that dog and that spear? Remember, they're charging up an attack. So if you leave them casting there, they almost make a one-shot killer out of them. So don't let that happen. And I did. Bad Delta, kill him. He's going after my Ancient Guardian. Flappers are up. I'm still in trouble, so this is a hard round for me. And I got my stamina proc. Thank you, Ancient Guardian. Hold block on this guy. He's a Wrecking Blow spammer just like me. Yes, I know it's annoying to go up against a Wrecking Blow spammer, even in PvE. So I do my crit rush, light attacks, hold block there, and you avoid it. It won't take too much of your stamina as long as you're just not block casting. So just block one of his little heavy attacks. Now the circle at his feet, it's not that troublesome. Go in there, block, rip. Bossy boss round here. What you need to know is the boss is going to summon from the wall and have a green circle. So what you want to do is do a lot of DPS to start. If you can move in between the round and get the weapon damage power up, you can pretty much just one-shot this guy, especially if you have an ultimate that travels with you. Since we don't, I'm just going to keep on Wrecking Blow spamming him. I'm getting really low on resources, but I want to wait till he parks right there. Then drop a banner. I'm going to drop Scorched Earth and Caltrops. So now you could either focus him if you're really tanky or just take out the adds to make it a lot easier. So that's what I do. But generally speaking, if you use a DPS power-up, you can almost kill him in one shot if you time your ultimate just like that. But we're not going to use a power-up, save some of our score, and then get back. More of the same here. You want to use your resources wisely. My potion's up, so I'm going to go ahead and use that. Continue to Wrecking Blow spam. Ooh, I got a stamina proc. Yeah. My little sword's out. That McCordon sword. And I use Flawless Dawnbreaker there so I can get even more resources. It is a bit of damage off the top and a really nice dot. So what I do here is just put Scorched Earth back up, get a little range. So I don't want to get the fire circle coming on him. Boom. And then one executioner. Rip. This round's going to be a lot of movement, and you're going to have archers that are really painful. But that's okay for a Sam Dragonknight because we have flappers. So the first island is going to be a couple mobs, and the same thing. You're going to have to go from island to island with a couple mobs. And then you're going to have the crazy little dude. What is he called? Wolf dude? I don't know. But anyways, bash him. Bash him, and I use a heavy attack on him because I want to get that stamina back. And he's not really going to do anything after you bash him. So it's a good opportunity to just basically use him for a heavy attack. So we got a couple more guys, 2 casters here. So if you want to nuke them down right away, great, or get your reflect up. And then he's dead. I got another wolf guy plus the boss over there. Okay, so this boss can almost one-shot you during her little animation. So you have to be watching out for that. It's coming up really soon. And I can't see it because the wolf's in the way. Right there. See that? That almost killed me. So be aware of that. Once that's down, I got Igneous Shields up. She transforms into werewolf and does a lot of health regen. So continue to just blow her face off. I don't think you need to use an ultimate here. Just stay consistent. Next round up, I'm going to use an ult to start and just blow this round away. We have the ogres here, and essentially their main threat is a big, huge melee attack. Where'd my banner go? So if you nuke them right away, they don't even get it off. So massive AoE is needed for this. Scorched Earth, Caltrops, let everything do the rest, and then just single target down the other mobs. They'll be taking so much damage from that, it's really not a threat. And boom, they turn red. You got to get them before that happens. Igneous a couple times here in between. I'm going to use Revigor since I'm moving over the ice. Now Reflect is really useful against this guy because he will throw these little snowball things that do a lot of damage on him. And that's it. This is kind of a tricky round, a harder one for a normal round, and you're going to have a big ice guy, you're going to have casters, you're going to have all sorts of stuff. So what you need to do, in my opinion, is nuke down the casters. Either always have your flappers up, but if you're low on magic, do something else. Just crit rush to them, try Executioner, get them down right away. That's going to give you the most problems. I'm out of resources here, so I go ahead and use my Dragonknight Standard, and you see the Reflect went and killed that guy. Got a potion up, that's up, tons and tons of more ranged DPS on me. So I'm just surviving, but surviving's not good enough. You have to do damage. So I got a Scorched Earth real quick, got him down, then I'm going to get him before it gets another melee. And it's going to be the same sort of set of mobs here. So I'm just struggling, I'm out of an ultimate, I don't have an ultimate up, I'm just going to use a power up instead of dying. So this power up the shield will basically give you kind of like flappers and a huge damage bubble. So it allows you just to get your breath and continue to focus on this guy. He does that cleave AoE just like that, so continue to move side to side like some of the other mobs we've already faced. If you do that, this won't be a problem. Another really hard fight here, you're going to have two giant guys that cast that. Now those things will kill you instantly unless you block. So it's really, really hard. What I recommend is just blowing them up right away with a banner. Because usually you can get an ultimate up before the boss round next fight. But if you don't have it, that's okay. Caltrops, Scorched Earth are your friend before the thing spawns. It'll do so much damage to them right away. Okay, so we got them down. Now Crazy Man here, he's going to cast those two casters come out. You need flappers up because they will hurt if you're not dealing with them. And the flappers alone will almost kill them. Okay, so I'm running low on stamina, have an ultimate about ready. Got my stam proc, so life's good. I'm going to drop a banner here and try to nuke this guy. He is more of the same, but I don't think you can even block his main DPS thing right there. So don't even get in it. Just move side to side, use a banner if you need to, Caltrops, Scorched Earth, and Wrecking Blow spam his face off. Bossy boss round and one of the harder bosses in this Maelstrom Arena. What I like to do is, you see I put Caltrops over there on the side. At a certain HP threshold, they're going to be a range caster and a melee. So what that does, putting the Caltrops on the side, it makes it so I can just do that. Crit rush and an Executioner and kill one right away. This boss will constantly stun you, so be aware of it. Like if you're not using abilities and your character is like not responding, just realize you're stunned. Because sometimes there's just so much crap in the area, you don't even know. Okay, so once an island platform gets down, it summons up a range caster. Flappers is your friend, or deal with them right away because they'll add a lot of damage. Remember, a certain HP, they're gonna cast a certain HP. They're gonna be more adds, and in certain HP, they're gonna destroy the island. So you need to be aware of what that looks like. This guy isn't so hard by himself. It's when all these adds show up that it can be very difficult. So I'm going to save this for about the 60% mark when a ton of adds come and get off that island. When he turns red and glows red like that, that's when it becomes a problem. So I did a crit rush there, get my flappers up, so I got one of the mages down with the crit rush Executioner. See, he stuns you, and he will stun you at the most inopportune time. So have flappers up if you can in between these fights. Okay. So now we're down low, and I'm going to try to burn through. I'm just going to maintain my flappers because most of these guys are archers that he spawns. If you do that, and go a 4-second burn, you can get him right away. And crit rush. Later. Stage 6, which isn't too bad for Stam DPS since we have Evil Hunter and most of these guys are Daedra. So it's going to be a lot better for our resources if we use Evil Hunter on this round. Great, great, great. So this one's not that hard. It's basically just introducing you to the mobs. Essentially the guy at the end is a troll guy, and he has more of the same mechanics that we've already faced. There's going to be an archer, and there's going to be someone that's melee, like dual wield, that's going to stun you. So you need to be aware of that. But the nice thing is, every mob in here, except the main troll guy, can be stunned. So stun them. Use wrecking blows, fossilize it if you need to. Control, control, control. Because if they're stunned, they're not doing damage to you. So that's why wrecking blow is actually pretty nice in here, because it stuns almost everything. Okay, so here's the main troll guy. What you need to know about him, he does a charge up heavy attack. His heavy attacks will really, really hurt. So timely blocking. Don't just perma block, you're going to run out of stamina. Just watch for his little swipes and block. Igneous shields can save you from a lot of damage, but it can't save you from all of it. So right there, block. See how I timely blocked? I didn't just, always block. I just got to do it right away. And dead. Next round, more of the same. Really, you're going to have more archers this round, and the guy that stuns you on the right. So remember, flappers, and then try to stun this dual wield guy. I don't know what his name is, but he's going to die anyways. Usually a wrecking blow, crit rush, execution will almost kill anything. The hard part about this round is if you have caltrops down, it will almost kill the Horvar. Then you can't park it where you want to. Remember that even the boss round, the 5 totems, if they're unwebbed, will give you a 10 to 15 second window where you can DPS everything. So don't wait until the boss round to have it available to you. Start using the Horvars and make it so you have just one unwebbed thing. So if you need to have a really big DPS burn, even if it's not the boss round, you can. So right now I have 2 unwebbed, so it's going to be harder. I should have used that Horvar over there, so it would have been easier. But that's okay. You can also use those Horvars and kill them in between the rounds on the totems that you want. Alright, so now I'm in trouble. Horvar's there. Now this guy's just going to have to die because Scorched Earth and Caltrops will just kill him right away. But that's okay. This guy just wails on you right there, and all this crap on the ground is just hard to deal with. Keep at it. It's hard. Round 3's up next. I'm going to park this Horvar right in between, so now you'll see I have one unwebbed thing. Remember, use that to your advantage. If you want it, like if you're struggling and you just need a break or need some resources or you need a lot of damage, that's a good opportunity to park that Horvar over there and use it and get basically free 15 seconds of damage. So you see him over there. Come here, critter. Now, I want to hit him before he runs into caltrops, otherwise it'll basically just kill him. Now I can't do it. Why? Because all them spiders came over. So it's better just to survive and try it again than die to the spiders. Believe me, I've died to the spiders so many times. I know when they spawn, get out of dodge. So now caltrops are down. Now I'm going to apply them since the Horvar's here where I need them. You'll see they're all glowing now. So that's when I can do the free damage phase. And it's nice on this round because this boss, he doesn't negate, and he is very hard to deal with, and especially when the archers come out. So he will negate my thing right away, but at least I got enough damage on him so I can just kill him, and then I have to deal with the archers. Luckily I have flappers up, Horvar is in here, and that's okay. The reflect does a lot of damage to these archers, enough so you can just almost kill them after a couple of reflex. Whew, still got some more problems. Another archer, we're going to nuke him. We got an ogre friend coming soon. Yay, does this round ever get over? More Horvars. Don't just leave them alone. Remember that you're going to want to set them up for the next round and or the boss round. So if you don't die in between, those things will stick. Okay, so now we're just going to do heavy damage. As soon as those spiders pop, don't even mess with it. I'm just going to give him a little love tap to go. Spiders are released. Remember, the spiders, as soon as they get in the gold area, they will release even if they're not there. So this round, I ideally use a banner to start because you're going to have the big, I don't even know, lurcher guy. And he does a lot of damage, but he's going to do that spin animation, so if you leave him in the banner and deal with the other guys, he almost dies just as a Scorched Earth and banner. That's going to give you a good start. Now, you need to have another mini-boss, and you're going to have 2 more at the very end of this, so just be diligent with your time. Remember that this guy, you can reflect or dodge his little poison thing. But he's not that troublesome alone. It's just when he does this, if you don't get out of it, you're screwed. Also, if you don't kill him right here, come on, I'm in trouble. Give me that hasty retreat. As soon as those 2 archers show up, about 25% of his health, that's when it gets really tricky. So you have to cut him down. You can't deal with the archers, a melee guy stunning you, and all of that stuff. Okay, now I got some control. Remember that as soon as these guys are dead, you're going to have to deal with 2 lurchers. So don't go crazy using an ultimate right here and save it. Also, continue to work on the horrors, parking them on top of the web totems, because you're going to need to get them down. I usually focus on 1 of the lurchers and try to kill them, because 1, if you can blow up 1 right away, it's much easier than 2 of those guys hurting you. Okay, spiders appear. I just can't use the horror, and the spiders are there. Going back to the one I want to unlock. Here we go. They're in the scorched earth. As soon as they get stuck in that animation of twirling, you can bash them out of it, and you get a free 2 to 3 seconds of damage. So that's what you want to do, and that's not too bad. The final round, and we're just going to nuke this little spider chick. Now, this isn't that hard on the Stam Dragonknight, because her and her little friend can be reflected. So I don't think it's that bad for this particular class. But it can be troublesome on other ones. I do like to isolate and kill this guy just because he can be annoying with the slows. And with all the stuff on the ground, those slows create a big problem for me. Okay, spiders are up and I have a horror. Now I'm going to grab the DPS power up, and because guess what? I'm only 1 totem away since I've been setting them up. Now that we got that, DPS, we got Scorched Earth, she's burning. We're going to do our 2 power ups. So we got Rally back up, Evil Hunter's proccing, and we can almost just DPS her through. So at 50%, she's going to spawn another guy, but you don't even need to worry about it if you can DPS her below that. And boom, dead. Yay, stage 7, everyone's least favorite. Oh, I hate this stage. So basically you're going to need AoE, you're going to need a stun, and you're going to need a lot of movement speed. That's what you need. We get our movement speed as a Stam Dragonknight with this build from Hasty Retreat passive. If you do a dodge roll while in your bow bar, you're getting 4 seconds of 40% speed. So if you need to zip around this place, remember, dodge roll on the bow bar. It will make a big difference, because you'll have these casters in all little 4 corners of the area that will pop those little green things on the ground. You go in the green things, you're dead pretty much, especially on the stamina build, because you can't absorb them. The end of each round here, for a couple rounds, we're going to have a troll. The troll's not so bad. When he gets low health, he'll do this red little shaky thing, and usually I'll apply Scorched Earth, so as soon as he comes out of it, he's already taken damage into an Executioner. More of the same here, but they're going to introduce more and more archers. Now these archers, if you don't have flappers up, will do about 9,000 damage to you. That's pretty much half your health if you're playing around 20k HP. I don't know why I have to tell you math, but anyways, so flappers are good, and 9,000 damage to them is a big deal as well. So make sure you're keeping up your flappers. This guy will stun you. If you don't want to deal with the CC break, you need to murk him right away, because he does telegraph his stun, and it can be dealt with. So these are the guys that will channel, cast, and blow up all the red circles. You do not want to have them around. Nuke them fast. Okay, we got a trolley, roly-poly, and he brings 2 little adds, but the adds are not so troublesome. So I'm not even going to worry about them in my banner. Remember that 20% damage reduction? And they're just going to die sitting in the banner anyways. Hey, quit attacking my Engine Guardian. Chop, chop. Round 3 easy. Okay, so this one's pretty easy, except for the boss. I hate the boss. Probably my least favorite one in the whole game. Even though I've said that probably 4 times already in this video. So the first 2 things, there's no archers, the first 2 spawns. It's basically just melee dogs and little Argonian dudes. Keep them in the Scorched Earth and just Wrecking Blow. They're not a problem whatsoever. Now on both sides of the room, you're going to have archers. Isolate 1, keep your flappers up as best you can. Remember that it's 4 seconds, so it's hard to continue to cast it. Once you have 1 down, basically what's going to happen is the crazy dude's going to spawn. Crazy dude being this little lizard guy. He is a pain in the butt. You can't reflect his ice thing. He does a little channel like that, which is okay to deal with, but the real problem is when he does a heebie shake like that. So luckily right there I got in between the middle of it, so I survived. But I just hate this guy because he slows you down. So I did got a defensive power up. I'm just going to chop him down like wood. Butcher! Round 4, and we're on to the archer heavy stage here. So on the left hand side, or east or west, I don't know what it is, but you have an archer along with 2 melee guys. The thing about the melee guys, they stun you just like that. And until you learn this, you're probably going to go through a death or two, because as soon as you get stunned, that archer is going to pepper you. So make sure to have that up. Now, 3 archer phase here. So I'm going to use flappers, because we're going to have 2 trolls next. So this is hard to deal with. But if you have flappers, you can pretty much just deal with these guys. Now I'm low on magic, so I can't really do another flapper. So I'm just going to keep on chopping them down. Now I'm down to 1 guy, and I have a magic proc, which is actually pretty helpful for us. Okay, green stuff everywhere. That's getting hard, but I have 1 archer down, thankfully, and my little sword is actually doing something. Thank you, little sword. Okay, now we have 2 trolls. What do? Isolate 1. I'm going to go ahead and use the defensive power up here just to be safe, though you don't have to as soon as you get more and more experience with what you're doing here. And I'm trying to save my ultimate for the next round, so I don't want to use one if I don't have to. Reapply Scorched Earth. He's still sitting in my caltrop, so I got 1 down. Don't just disregard this caster, dude. You gotta get them down. Otherwise, you'll randomly have green stuff everywhere and just die. Okay, out of resources. Igneous here. Gotta pop. That rock toss can be reflected, and it's about 10,000 damage, so think about doing it. Hey, another terrible boss. Okay, Argonian. This guy sucks. But basically, he doesn't one-shot you, really, if you know how to move and block that big old channel when he puts his leg up and stomps. So essentially, you can go on top of him right here and get some early damage. Now, you're melee build, right? So you need to isolate the guy in the far corner. Then you get 1 of them down. Now you go in a little circle. So this guy moved a little bit towards me, so I'm pretty much wasting this round, but I survived. So it's not that big of a deal. Ideally, you want to get 2 of them parked by each other. If this happens, just do heavy attacks. Not that big of a deal. It's just better to survive than not have a perfect layout. Really what you're worried about is the casters. With them, the green plumes plumbing everywhere. This guy doing a stomp, it becomes chaotic. So really you're just going in between. 1 of his attacks can be reflected, which is pretty nice. Other than that, just keep moving and keep strafing. His fist stomp will stun you. So make sure that you see the fist up, you know you're going to block it or be stunned. Leg up, you know this is coming with the stomp on all areas and you need to block. Right there, see? Leg stomp. Blocked and I didn't die. If you don't block, you're pretty much dead. Okay, so now we got 3 things spawning. Scorched Earth, of course, he stuns me at the inopportune time. Flappers up, rocks everywhere. Life's interesting right now. And green stuff. Oh, yes, yes. We're going to survive, though. Chop them down. Whew. Okay, so now they're right by each other. Remember that heavy attacks, if you do a light attack in between, you actually might kill this guy because there's some AoE damage with it. So be diligent and don't kill him. I did that 1 round and I got mad at myself. I yelled and called myself bad names. So don't do that. Once he gets down to around 30-25% health, you can pretty much just burn him through. Now I got hit with that green poison, just nothing I can do about it. So I just did a dodge roll my bow bar, really fast got there. I kind of burned my banner, but I got the defensive power up here. Block. So now I'm not going to worry about adds or whatever comes next. I'm just going to try to burn him. Burn, burn, burn. Chop him down like wood once he's below 25. Come on. Come on, broski. And give him a Dawnbreaker. CC break, Ted. Woo! Dumbers like us love this round. Yes, fire, flames, and it's Daedra. So, not Daedra, Daedra. I've played this game for 2 years. Anyways, so Evil Hunter is your friend. Make sure that it's activated. And you can see in my skill bar how it kind of stays like a glowing little circle around it. Make sure that that's that, because it will give you a lot of stamina and a lot more damage against these guys. Okay, so he's getting chopped down like wood. He's the most effective. Remember, healers aren't going to necessarily kill you. The little firecasters are. The trick with these guys, the two-hander guys, is don't run away from them. If you do, they'll crit rush to you and basically kill you instantly. So I hate these little lurchers. They have to get down the totem, obviously, first. And as soon as you break it, you basically get 3 seconds of damage. But the thing about him that sucks is you really can't avoid his 3-prong little channel there. Because if you strafe, he'll just strafe with you. So there's basically 3 mechanics, but you just need to maintain your discipline. Put some pressure on him when it's available. Round 2, and to get an early good start, you want to go all the way in the back where this guy spawns. He's the fire flame caster. and I mistakenly wrecking blowed him into a big pool of lava so I can't get to him. Rip! I'm going to do some Scorched Earth to these little beetle guys here, chopping them down. Yeah, wrecking blow. Get it. Scorched Earth does so much damage with this build. Remember to maintain it up. Problem with it is not mobile, but it doesn't cost a whole lot, and it's the best AoE that we have just for a simple low-cost thing. So Caltrops in that will do a lot of damage. Okay, so we got our crazy friend out. Yay! And we have this little totem. So we're going to drop that. I think I have a banner up. Yes, I do. Drop it. Scorched Earth, and that will take care of the rest of these little guys. So now I focus on this guy, 20% damage reduction. Make sure to block when it's appropriate. Don't info block. And just keep him in the Scorched Earth as best you can. That alone will just whittle him down, enough to chop him down. Round 3 is more of the same. Basically, you're going to have three people one side, and then as soon as you kill 2 of them, 3 people are going to come to the other side. So usually what I do is I try to let them hold in the middle, and you can see that 2-hander guy almost killed me since I wasn't close enough to him. So 2 of them are dead. Ideally, you want to kill one of the 2-hander guys, not both of the healers, because the 2-hander guy will kill you. The healer's not going to kill you. Now, if you have 3 of them beating on you, it's much harder to deal with. Okay, so they're both going to crit rush. I'm going to block, big heavy heals, try to keep them in the Scorched Earth as best I can. Evil Hunter's up, so it's only a matter of time before they go nuke mode. Okay, so now when this guy spawns, it's more the same with the troll lurcher dude, except that he has a little friend clear on the other end, doing that channel. If that does not get interrupted or dealt with, you basically can't heal through it on a stamp build. So you need to deal with it. Go across the map and chop him down. I'm using a banner, even though I'm really going to need it next round, but these lurchers are a pain to deal with, because you basically can't avoid that stuff with this build. So just leave them in there, Scorched Earth and Caltrops, it'll do the work, and then chop them down. On to the next round. Round 4 is going to be pretty hard. You're going to have a lot of mobs to start with this round. Plus, they're going to have healers, they're going to have channel guys. Best thing you can do is keep your Scorched Earth down and your Caltrops down in the majority of them. Try to maintain your flappers and isolate the 2 guys with the fire channel. Remember, once this is done, it gets even crazier. You're going to have a couple of guys that will try to chop you down, and then one of the harder mini-bosses in this entire area. Okay, so we're getting them down. My Caltrops is down. My Scorched Earth is back up. So now we're ready for these other spawns to come up. Okay, my wrecking blow hits harder than yours, bro. Got one down. As soon as that one down, they're going to start the channel. They're going to start the cast for these other 2. Okay, so I am using a defensive thing here. I've just died too many times without it. Okay, so we get this thing down. The totem's down. Now, I don't even worry so much about the adds during this phase, because I have the defensive power up. Okay, so she drops a banner on top of mine, but you'll notice that right there on the edge, I can still be in my banner and not be in hers. Remember, being inside that banner, 20% and 20%. It's very, very important. Banner's down, and I almost have my defensive power up down. So now I have to play defensive. Chopping her down, rip! Best advice I can give you when starting this round is have your Caltrops and your Scorched Earth on one of the near totems, grab the offensive power up, and you basically can whittle these 3 things down right away without 0 pressure from the boss or the adds. So once you break this, if you have all your buffs up, Evil Hunter, Banner, Scorched Earth, Caltrops, you can get this guy down to about 50%. So I don't have my Evil Hunter up, but I don't want to waste time using it. I turn my camera to the opposite side because this guy will do his little cast and I have to deal with it. So I'm going to wrecking blow him, try to chop him down, and then move on to the other things. Okay, so now you just have to play defensive, get these 3 things down. The boss is not really the problem. Time is your problem. So if you don't get these down fast enough, you'll come more and more adds and it'll become more and more problem. Now, if you don't kill him within 2 of the things, guess what? You're going to have the big, huge channel fire waves. So you try to get them down within that amount of time. It makes it much easier. So if you get your flappers up or use a defensive thing, you don't have to worry about the caster so much. Okay, so I'm not going to worry about the caster, and I'm just going to try to get these down. Hey, you pull me away, I'm going to crit rush in and chop it butcher style. do my dodge roll on my bow bar so I can move a lot faster. And now I'm not going to worry about the adds. I have Flawless Dawnbreaker up. I'm going to break this and burn him real quick, and this should be an easy round. Dawnbreaker, bash, interrupt, chop him down butcher style. Round 1, not so hard, just going to introduce you to the mobs that you're facing. Essentially an archer, kind of a Dragonknight tank, and then a Nightblade-ish character. The Nightblade-ish character, the dual wield, is the most painful. He'll do stuns, he'll do a soul tether on you, and basically will be your biggest challenge when facing this round. Because if you don't deal with him right away, he will deal with you, constantly stunning you. So really, you want to focus on that. And remember the spawns. So that's going to be the key in isolating which targets. Here you're going to have a Daedroth to deal with. That's not too bad. We have a banner, so we have a 20% damage reduction. And the Fire Breath, not too bad. Just DPS through it. Round 2, more of the same. You can see that guy doing his little stun, trying to get me down. No, sir. Caltrops. Yes, Caltrops slowing him down. No big deal. Okay, so you're going to have to be mobile here. I have 3 of those gold things. At 3, you get the Spectral Explosion, which basically stun locks them and does a little bit of damage to them as well. So ideally, you're going to want to know when to use that. I just used it there, probably not the best time, but you only have about 30 seconds or so to use it. Usually you want to use it on these guys, the Daedroth guys, because those are their biggest threat. So dealing with the Daedroth, it's kind of hard at first, but basically the Fire Breath you can kind of heal through. It's the swipe after that's the biggest problem. So right here, I'm just going to do Rally, Igneous, Vigor, and then try to chop them down. Okay, more people are coming, but I got them down, thankfully. And Spectral Explosion's back up. So for me, I'm going to drop a banner since I'm out of resources, Scorched Earth on the adds, and I'm going to get the biggest guy down. Rip! Round 3's not too bad, but you're going to start off with the Daedroth guy, and you're going to have no ultimate. So I suggest if you're struggling with getting this guy taken care of, block the swipe and use a power-up. There's no problem using a power-up like a healing one or the defensive one. So especially if you haven't beat this yet, it's not like an ego thing using a power-up. It's what they're there for, especially if you can't beat it. So anyways, get this Nightblade down. I'm not letting him cast Take Aim on me. No, sir. Scorched Earth. Caltrops on this guy. He does a channel. He's not too bad. So I usually don't use a banner on him. And I wait for the after the round or the next wave of spawns if I get in trouble. He does that chains that will cause you to be stunned. And you see I'm not doing a good job of leaving him in the Scorched Earth. So he's not really taking a whole lot of damage. But thankfully I have Spectral Explosion. Let's get the fat guy down, and as soon as we do that and kill up the other guy, easy peasy. And we're not done yet, so don't get too happy. Guess what we have? More crap. 3 adds, one of which is a Daedroth. So this is where I'm going to use my banner. And we have the Nightblade Stunner guy. So if he stuns you with the Fire Breath up, if you don't realize it, you're pretty much dead. Banner is very helpful for this. Round 4 time, and you're going to start with 2 adds, one of them which is a Dragonknight, basically tank. It's going to slow you down. Remember that this round is simply, there's guys on the outside that walk kind of slowly. They can be stunned, knocked back, whatever, until they get to this little circle thing. They're trying to summon up a big, huge, nasty guy that it's basically really hard to beat him. So just don't let it happen. Basically, you're just going to kill the outside guys while these inside guys are giving you pressure. Best advice I can give to you is if you put Caltrops down, not only will it slow and do damage, but it pretty much will almost kill the adds that are beating on you the whole time. So that's what I like to do, is just have Caltrops down in the middle, which I don't have right now. Bad Delta. I'm running out of stamina, so, you know, there's that. But I want to push it over and do my Spectral Explosion now instead of then, because I can get rid of the big Daedroth. And then the round becomes much easier, because really you only have an Ogrim to deal with now. Plus I got my full resources. So as soon as you take care of the guy that's trying to get to the circle, the round becomes much easier. Focus on them. Use your flappers if you're getting trouble with the range DPS. And then use your Spectral Explosion on the Daedroth. Now you're going to face a round with an Ogrim, who you can't reflect his fire spells, and two of the little walker guys. So what I like to do is stun one, like with a Wrecking Blow, and you can either zoom across and kill the other one, or just focus on one. So stun him, get him off his track, and just kind of avoid this Ogrim guy. Don't get the gold, give me the gold, because I got a Spectral Explosion. Okay, now we're just gonna bypass the little guy. My sword's up. Look at that little sword. That more cool than sword. It's so good. Not really. Anyways, dead. Round 5 here starts with a Nightblade guy and, guess what, Fire Daedroth. So I like to nuke the Nightblade guy down right away, let Mr. Billy Bob do his Fire Breath, and then just heal after it. Now you're going to have a big, huge Titan, which you're going to Scorched Earth, Banner, Caltrops on him. He will melt big time. You have to block that swipe attack that's channeled, otherwise it will stun you, and you'll lose a lot of DPS. So if you use a defensive here, it will reflect back his Fire Breath at you. Now this you cannot reflect at all, you just have to deal with it. So I'm going to have Flappers up, I'm going to reapply those important buffs. I don't have enough stam to basically do Caltrops because I'm just going to be having to dodge roll and survive for a little bit. But I'm going to chop him down. Okay, I use a Dawnbreaker there just to make sure that he got dealt with. You also notice that guy was doing a take aim, but you can dodge roll it if you have that big huge red like note on you. So make sure that you dodge that if you don't let him get that cast off. Otherwise it'll be hard to deal with. We got my Soul Tether friend Nightblade here. We're going to nuke him down, leave him in the Scorched Earth, and that'll basically do the work for us. Now I have a Spectral Explosion, which I can kill the big old Ogrim guy, and basically move on to the final round. Yo. Final round, the ideal thing you want is Scorched Earth, Caltrops down, and get this guy to about 90 or 89%. Once you get him down there, the fight becomes much easier, especially if he teleports on top of this guy. You can also drop a banner right there and kill the Fire Daedroth along with it. I don't have a banner, so I'm going to play a risky strategy here, which is continue to DPS the boss and try to deal with these two adds beating the crap out of me. Block or dodge roll that, and I'm just going to try to get rid of the boss. So if I push him over to 70%, basically the boss is done with. And remember that if you go up top, the Daedroth will essentially die. So you don't actually have to kill the Daedroth, though I usually do. I'm going to drop a banner here, the reason why I just need resources, and I got tons of crap beaten on me. So the Daedroth's beaten on me, but I just click the portal. Bye, Daedroth! Now, as soon as you get up here, what's going to happen? Red circle and that. You need to dodge roll or block that. I did a bad job, but I got lucky. Look at my little sword go, that Merkolden sword. He's so cute. I'm doing his little 1k damage. Okay, so now we're just using our buffs. Get your buffs back up during this phase and be behind the rock. Scorched Earth is your friend. Make sure it's up on at least one of these guys, because that damage over time that it does is significant. I don't use Caltrops on this phase, and the reason why is a lot of stamina. And I'm going to use my stamina to block or dodge roll. The best thing to probably do is to to block over dodge roll. The dodge roll is going to cost more, and if you just do a timely block, it'll be a lot easier. The thing about dodge rolling his attacks like this, see that, is that you don't have to be exactly right on the timing. It's essentially like a 2-second gap. So that's why I do a dodge roll sometimes. But notice that it is probably better to block. We got one guy down. He's kind of half-assed in my Scorched Earth. Now you'll notice the circular thing moves really fast. So I got to my bow bar so that way I could get my 40% movement speed, do a dodge roll, see that 2-second window. Now the damage over time effect is going to be significant here. So you're just going to have to man up and get this done. About to die, heal, 2 rallies. Come on, chop it down. Yeah, all right, butcher time. Boss round. As soon as you get down here, you got to be aware, cognizant, you're going to need to interrupt the boss, priority number 1. Priority number 2 is to grab these gold things. There's going to be 3, they're going to be casted, right? And you're also going to have the walkers that we just dealt with earlier in that round. Kill the walker, continue to move around. Flappers will do work on this guy, though it's not like a massive amount of damage. And now you're 1 gold away from the Spectral Explosion. You're also going to have to deal with a Fire Daedroth. I was blocking that. No. Oh, so the guy got it, and now it's going to be super difficult to deal with this. So I'm going to use a power-up and just say, YOLO, banner here, Scorched Earth, and if I can get this, come on, Spectral Explosion. I got the Spectral Explosion. I don't want him summoning Big Billy Bob, so I'm just going to play it safe. A couple uppercuts here will take him out. Got the Fire Daedra down, and now I don't really need to worry about getting the gold things, but I'm just going to get him so he doesn't have them. I'm going to bash and interrupt, and now it's pretty much easy. Don't have to get the people going to the island. You can just chop him down Butcher style, follow Stormbreaker to show him some love. Rip! Die! And that's it. So we got it done. This was a 400k score, and almost 410. It took me about an hour and what? I don't remember. I died a few times. I think I died 10 times or 9 times. But anyways, that's the Butcher. I think I would have a much better luck with the Hunting's Rage over Mark Goulden. But I wanted to show you guys that you can use it. Okay, hour and 10 minutes. You can use it on a Stam Dragonknight or a Stam build, and it works pretty good, but I much rather prefer Hunting Rage. Thank you so much for watching. That concludes all the classes in Veteran Maelstrom Arena. On to more things like tanking.